Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier, and today in this particular video I am going to discuss one very important concept related to statistics, machine learning or data science domain, okay, which is partial correlation. Okay, so what is this? Before going ahead, let me give you a quick recap of simple correlation or raw correlation, right? So what is correlation? It is basically used to find or get the idea of the relationship, or we can say linear relationship between two variables, right? Linear relationship, because correlation cannot detect non-linear relationship. So this is also a very important conclusion, that if two variables are having zero correlation or less correlation value, that does not mean that those two variables are not at all related. Okay, they are not linearly correlated. There might be non-linear relationship present in between those variables, right? And that's why later rank correlation came into picture, and there are some more statistical analysis also present to find out the different kinds of relationship, right? So now I am not going to that part. In simple words, correlation is nothing but normalized form of covariance. If we are having the value of covariance, we divide by the standard deviation, product of the standard deviation, and then we get the correlation value. Okay, so we also call this as a normalized form of covariance, right? And this one is basically used to get the idea of the linear relationship between two variables in simple words, right? Now let's try to understand what is partial correlation with respect to one particular use case. Okay, so we'll be discussing the concept and then we'll be going with the programming part. So suppose I am having two events, okay, or two scenarios. One is how much ice cream purchasing is happening. Okay, consider this as one event B. Okay, and this one is how much amount of shark attack is happening nowadays. Okay, now this is C variable, right? Now suppose if you just having these two data sets and you compute the correlation, raw correlation, okay, which we have discussed earlier, then you might be getting the relationship. Suppose I am telling the relationship is 0.4, okay, right? Now you just think, the purchase of ice cream increment or decrement not at all related to number of shark attacks, right? It is not logical, but still we are getting some correlation value with respect to simple correlation I am talking, or raw correlation value we are getting. Now why this is happening? There might be one particular influencing factor working, which is basically generating this relationship. Suppose just I am telling that influencing factor is A, right? So what can be A in this particular scenario? It can be like this, that increment in temperature, because if there is temperature increment, obviously by default the purchase of ice cream will increase. And suppose when temperature goes high in the beach areas, that time this shark attack also increases. Okay, that means B and C are not related, but due to presence of this particular factor A, actually we are getting relationship. Okay, actually these two relationship A and B and A and C are highly correlated. Maybe the correlation factor go to 0.8 and here maybe correlation factor go to 0.7. I am just telling random values, don't consider, just I am sharing these values for explanation purpose. It is not practical. Okay, right? So basically this is the story, that is one particular factor is influencing in the calculation of the relationship between two variables. Okay, so this creates one particular concept crystal clear, that is the raw correlation is not always the good measurement. Okay, that's why scientists told or came up with this particular concept, which is partial correlation. So what is partial correlation analysis? Let me make this very much simplified. It is nothing but the studying the relationship between two variables, like here B and C, after excluding the effect of one or more independent variable. That means In partial correlation, we'll be studying the relationship between B and C excluding the effect of A. That's why it is called partial correlation, not the actual correlation or raw correlation. Okay, and that time if we compute the partial correlation between B and C excluding the effect of event A, there is a possibility that we will be getting actually zero correlation, because we are getting correlation value because they are influenced by, both of them are influenced by this particular temperature increment factor. But if we exclude that, then simply we will be getting zero correlation, okay, in between these two events. But we will be having the partial correlation value in between B and A and C, obviously, like normal one. That's what the moral of this story. I hope intuitively you are getting the feeling. Now let me show you the formula. You no need to memorize the formula, but yes, just some important points I can pick up from here. If you just observe this particular formula, you can get the feeling what is happening. So we want to compute the correlation between A and B excluding the effect of this independent factor C. How we are computing? We are computing the raw correlation between A and B, then we are subtracting the raw correlation between A and C multiplied by raw correlation between B and C. These are raw correlation, that is the normal correlation value, normalized form of covariance which we have calculated or studied earlier, which we normally do, okay, Pearson correlation, like those things, okay. And then we are normalizing using this, okay, that is square root of 1, which is the maximum value of the maximum possible value for correlation, minus of raw correlation between A and C. What is A and C? A and C is basically correlation between one particular event with the event which we want to exclude. C is the event which we want to exclude, okay. And here this is 1 minus of R, that is raw correlation of B in between B and C square, okay. So what is B? B is one event, C is the event which we want to exclude. So if we want to compute the correlation between A and B excluding the effect of C, then we need to use the formula where we are computing the raw correlation between A and B, subtracting the raw correlation between A and the factor which we want to exclude, multiplied by raw correlation between B and the factor which we want to exclude, divided by square root of 1 minus of raw correlation between A and the factor which we want to exclude, that square, multiplied by square root of 1 minus of raw correlation of B and the factor which you want to exclude, that is C, that square, okay. As simple as that. Now you can just relate this formula intuitively, very simple way. Suppose this particular influencing factor is not present. Actually, suppose consider the event B and C are correlated. So what will be the correlation value between A and B and A and C? 0, okay. Right, in that case, if you just put R of A and C 0 and R of B and C 0, see, you will be getting the correlation between A and B excluding the factor of C is nothing but R of AB. That is, the raw correlation will be equal to this partial correlation if the two variables are not at all related to some other independent variable. That is, if there is no correlation between A and C and B and C, that time the partial correlation is equal to our raw correlation actually. And like this the formula will go on. Suppose we want to exclude one more effect, okay, one more independent variable, suppose D is present which is influencing the correlation between A and B. That time to do that, what we need to do, we need to multiply the raw correlation between A and D and raw correlation between B and D, like this, okay, in the numerator. And then here we need to put two more normalization term, 1 minus of R of A and D square multiplied by square root of 1 minus R of B and D square, okay. Like this it will go on if you introduce more and more variables, right? Now let me go to programming part and tell you how to do this programming, okay. So here, yes, I am coming to MATLAB online and let me show you the program. So CLC clear all, close all, warning off, okay. So what I am doing, x1 equal to, so I am generating one data linspace of 1,10 with 76 intervals in between these two, this range 1 to 10, okay, like this equally spaced data I am creating. And then I am adding some noise factor, lambda of our 76 comma 1. Okay, so basically here let me take transpose of this. So what I am doing, I am generating one column vector, okay, which is basically first linearly spaced data in between 1 and 10 and 76 linear space is present, and transposing, that means this will be a column vector. With that I am adding random number of 76 rows and 1 column. Okay, now x2, so this is our the external factor which is influencing, and now I need to generate B and C, in between which the partial correlation we need to compute. So x1 plus random 76 comma 1. Okay, so you can clearly understand this x2 and x1 are highly correlated, right? Because we are just adding some random noise, okay, which are having Gaussian or normal distribution with our x1, right? And similarly I am just copying this and I am making our another variable x3. So if you just getting confused, let me give the names which I used in the discussion. This is our A event, this is our B event, and this is our C event. Okay, actually B and C are not correlated in between themselves, okay, if you exclude the effect of x1, because this is random number, this is also random number. Two random numbers sequence are not at all correlated, but due to x1, presence of x1, this particular, actually x1 will be A here, due to presence of this variable, actually they will be correlated in this particular case. Okay, and we can simply check using CORR function, okay, CORR of A comma B comma C. Okay, like this I can compute, and that's why I have taken here column vector, because if you just check help CORR in the command window, you can get the detailed description. Here you can see returns P by P matrix containing the pairwise linear correlation coefficient between each pair of columns in the N by P matrix X. So CORR function computes the correlation between different columns, so that I have converted our A, B and C all as column, and this should be one single our input parameter for this particular function. And to compute partial correlation, the code is partial. Okay, as soon as you write partial, see MATLAB is giving you the help partial CORR of, see how I am writing, very important. So what do we want? We want to get the partial correlation between B and C. So I will be writing B and C excluding the effect of the independent factor A. So like this you have to write. That's it. Okay, simple. I hope you have understood. So what we should get the effect? The correlation here in this particular case we will be getting in terms of one matrix, 3 by 3 matrix, correlation matrix. There the correlation between B and C will be very high due to the influencing factor A. Actually this should not be correlated because only random numbers, but due to presence of this A, they will be getting influenced and they will be getting correlation value. But when we are doing partial correlation, we are basically trying to find out the linear relationship between B and C excluding the effect of A. That time that is nothing but we are removing this particular term and we are simply computing the correlation between these two random sequence, and that time we should get very less correlation. So let us check, because value observation in statistics is very important, and you just check what you just try to think intuitively, you are getting that or not. So this is the, see, diagonally correlation values all are 1. This is A column, this is for B column, and this is for C column. So B and C correlation value 0.8852, or symmetrically you will be getting here also, because first row is for A, second row is for B, and third row is for C. Okay, so whether you are checking this value at this value, you will be getting same 0.8852, which is clearly indicating there is a very high correlation, okay, between B and C, right? I hope you are getting the idea. Between B and C there is a very high correlation, but this is raw correlation, and the sole reason of getting this very high correlation is the presence of the influencing factor A, which is other independent variable. Okay, now if we are computing the partial correlation between B and C, okay, that means if we try to exclude the effect of the independent variable A, see how much the correlation value we are getting, very less, 0.0575, which is very less, almost zero correlation. Okay, so actually in between B and C there is no correlation when we are excluding the effect of A, and this is the one of the simplest code to get the feeling of this partial correlation concept. So try to understand the logic. I am creating one data, and for B and C, both this I am taking this data only. Okay, so consider this A as increase in temperature, and B is the sale for ice cream, C is the number of shark attacks. Okay, B and C, increase or decrease in sale of ice cream, is not at all related to our increase or decrease in number of shark attacks, but due to presence of A, which is increase or decrease in temperature, as both of them are influenced, that's why although actually B and C should not be related, but still we are getting very high correlation in terms of raw correlation. But if you are computing partial correlation, we are not getting that. This is the simple idea. So in partial correlation, the main story is we are trying to exclude the effect of A. Now you just think, if you exclude the effect of A, only what is remaining? This is one random sequence, this is one random sequence. In between them, no correlation, and that's what we are getting, 0.0575, which is almost no correlation, right? So I hope you have got the intuitive feeling of partial correlation. This is the simple idea. In Python also there is functions present which you can use, explore from internet. There are lots of free resources are present. I just try to make this particular concept as simple as possible in an intuitive way. Okay, I hope you have got the concept, because concept is power, not the inbuilt functions. Once you get the feeling why I am calculating partial correlation, what is the disadvantage of raw correlation which is overcome in the partial correlation, that's it. You no need to remember the formula or inbuilt function. You can get that from internet. No need to invest brainstorming in that, but the concept you should know, right? And this is also a very important interview question in the data science or machine learning part, or if you are applying for statistics related job. So the code I will be providing in the description box. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share and comment. Subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of my latest videos. Thank you for watching.